Hello, my name's Oliver from Studiostone Creative, and today I'm going to show you how to carve a butterfly out of soapstone from Brazil. This is actually a very colorful piece of stone, so I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like. So I'll take you through the whole process of shaping it, sanding it, and waxing it. To begin with, get set up with a plate or a tray you can work on, and get a bowl of water. Just a bowl, fill it with water nearby because we're going to be working wet so we don't have any dry dust. Then I have my file here, and the other thing I sometimes will have with me is a pencil. So with this, you're all ready to go. The first part of carving is to shape the body. So what I'm going to do here is just draw it on a little bit with a pencil just to show you what we're doing here. And what I need to do is bring these wings down beside the body. So from the side, it's going to look like this. I want to take that part off and this part down just around the outside here. Okay. And then after that, we're actually going to cut up from the bottom and take this part off because I want the wings to kind of fold up. Right? So that'll be after. But let's start with the top first. What I'm going to do is get my stone wet. Okay, so it should be nice and wet. And I'm going to get my file wet. So that's in there. And I'm going to start working around the outside of the body. You can see how I'm just starting very carefully to shape that. So on both sides, just kind of pushing forward, getting the shape. And I'm going to leave that stone. So now I want to carve out here. And as I marked on the side here, I need to take all this stone down. So just work your way along. As soon as it gets muddy and your file gets muddy, just rinse it off and keep working until you've taken that stone down all the way down here up to the edge. So this is, just took down one wing right here on the top. Just to show you the difference, you can kind of see there how that wing's come down. And now I want to do the same on this side. The other thing is when your file gets muddy, the best thing is if you have a little toothbrush, or even if you can't find a toothbrush, just get a little paintbrush, and that really helps to get the mud out and keep the mud in the water. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to file this side, same way. I really want to bring it down on this side. So I'm just filing the stone around the body and leave this edge high, right? Because I want the wings to kind of come up here on an angle. Okay, I've got the top of the wings shaped down. Now I want to do the same for the bottom. Again, I find it helps to mark them on. If your stone's dry, you can do the pencil. If it's wet like this, sometimes you can take the corner of your file and just kind of scratch in a line just to show you basically what you're trying to do. So I'm taking off this side, and there's a lot of stone to come off. Same thing as I want to keep a little bit of a curve here underneath, right, just to mimic the top. And I'm going to be taking all the stone from go down a little bit here, but then right this chunk of stone all the way up to here. I'm not going to go straight up to the point. I want to leave a little bit of stone on the side of the wing here. So I'm turning this over so it's now upside down, and same thing, I'm just outlining the body here. But now I'm going to be working down this edge. This is the side that I want to take down. It's nice to have a little reference guide so I can see. So if it gets dusty, just rinse it, keep it nice and wet, and just file down the stone like this. Okay, I've taken down the bottom side of one of the wings, and I have to say there's a lot of stone that you're taking off, right? The rock was here, and you're really bringing it down into here. So this is going to take you 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it's pretty thick here. But I'm going to do a couple things later, so that's fine for me now. I might thin out these wings a little bit more as we go, but I think what I'm going to do now is start on this side and get it down to the same amount. So again, I want to take off this part all the way underneath here, starting from that. Okay, here I'm going to round the body. So just this body that's sticking up, I now want to just round those corners down, just from both sides, and try to keep it nice and uniform. If you want, you can add more details to the body, like butterflies. If you look at them, they usually have a couple segments. Like you can put in a little segment here for the head, one for the abdomen down here. It's up to you. Sometimes it's nice just to keep it nice and simple, but it's your project. You can make it as detailed as you like. So what I want to do here is separate these wings. I want to give 4 wings here on the butterfly. So you see this first notch, the second notch down here on the side, that's where you want to draw a line in. Okay? If the stone's wet, it's easiest just to use the corner of your file and scratch it in. So from the second notch down here, I'm going to kind of angle it a little bit. So now I'm going to have 4 wings here. What I want to do is this lower wing I'm going to take down. So I'm going to leave this one as it is, and then just here I'm going to file in this way here, and I'm going to try work my way around and take this whole side down lower. Okay, so this whole bit I want to drop in, same on this side. So isn't that cool? You can kind of see where I've dropped the wing down here, got the body rounded, starting to look like a butterfly. Yeah, I love it. Now these wings are still a bit thick, right? And even the body here is a bit thick. So you can decide what you want to do. Maybe you want to file the whole thing down a little bit here, or just leave it. The other thing you can do is, I think I'm going to take this deeper in around here. And the wings don't have to be, flat. You can curve them, you can hollow them out, you can do, kind of some different movements in the wing, give a little bit of life. So that's completely up to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it down a little bit more here, and I'm going to thin out the wings here, and I might even curve them a bit on the back. So let me try that. Okay, pretty much done with the file. I think I am done. Just check it over. Any other little spot you want to change the shape of, that's great. Yeah, the body is still a bit thick, but we got to leave it that way. It's not going to get down super thin. It is up to you, but remember to keep your stone strong, right? We don't want them to break. So I'm happy with that. And now the next step is sanding. Take your orange sandpaper, this is 150 grit, and get it wet. I like to fold it in half because it gives me a better grip on the sandpaper. And with the sandpaper and stone wet, sand everywhere. Now you're going to get rid of all the little scratches. So there's not too many details with the butterfly, so that's okay. Just work all the way around, and this will take about 10 minutes to get rid of all the file marks. So go everywhere, all the way around. This is still going to shape the stone a little bit, so you can round those edges down a bit more and shape the stone. Just take your time and get out all these little scratch marks. It took me about 10 minutes to get all the scratches off on the first grit. I'm going to now move up to 400, and that's a yellow. Again, get it wet and start going over everywhere, front and back, and everywhere with the yellow sandpaper, the 400 grit. And this will just take you a couple minutes, won't take long, and it makes the stone ultra smooth. So very, very cool. You start to see the colors and the patterns in the stone as well as you do this, so it's really a fun part. Just be careful as it gets really slippery when it's sanded smooth, so make sure you're holding on to it well. Okay, finished with the 400 grit, looks really nice. Make sure you clean out all the little dust, give it a nice rinse, and then we're ready to wax. For waxing, I'm going to remove my tray and just use a piece of cardboard if you have one around. You can also use aluminum foil, and put your carving down here. Just as I said, rinse it off, make sure the dust is off, and then don't worry if it's wet, it's going to dry up, and we're ready for waxing. In your kit, you should have got a little piece of paraffin wax, and we're going to use this. Heat the stone, and then we're going to rub the wax and melt the wax on it. The stone's going to get pretty warm, so for moving the stone around, you can just use a Kleenex tissue, and just if you need to grab the stone and move it around. Again, it's going to be slippery, so again, make sure that you're set up and doing it somewhere where it can't fall off a table or do anything like that. Then you're going to warm it with your hair dryer. And it's going to take maybe 2-3 minutes, even 4 or 5 minutes, depending on how hot your hair dryer is, to warm the stone. Warm everything and then test it. And when the stone's warm enough, it's literally going to melt the wax into the stone, and you'll see that. And then you can stop and you can work all the way around, flip it over and do the back side. And then you're done. Waxing the stone, and what a beautiful color. Okay, here I've just waxed the stone. This is a especially beautiful piece of stone I got, a Brazilian soapstone. A lot of the stone you're gonna find in the kits is brown, green, has spots, some stripes. But we're starting to get some stone that's pretty colorful, so this was a cool use of colorful stone. When it's all waxed, let it cool down fully, and then only once it's cooled, you can hit it with a cloth and buff it and go shiny. So I'm going to let it sit now for maybe 5-10 minutes. If you're in a hurry, you can actually dip the stone in cold water and it'll cool very quickly. Here's my finished butterfly. You can see the beautiful color stone. This was kind of an exceptional piece. I'm going to try to get more of the soapstone in. But yeah, very colorful. A lot of the stones are browns and greens with spots and stripes. Anyway, very happy with my little butterfly. Hope you enjoyed the project. Check out Studiostone Creative.com. We've got some really cool animals coming up there now. Saber-toothed tiger, a mammoth. Yeah, and we've also just launched some very interesting, some fun soapstone carving board games. My name's Oliver, Studiostone Creative, and hope you had a great time.